Sport wrestling has a long and rich history, and from its very beginnings, athletes emerged whose achievements became true legends. Their names inspired entire generations, and their matches on the mat remained lasting symbols of strength, skill, and the will to win. In this video, we share 3 unique stories of outstanding wrestlers from the past: a phenomenal Indian, a towering Dagestani, and the greatest Iranian. Their sporting careers are full of drama, remarkable victories, and lessons that made them true heroes and continue to inspire future generations. These days, fans applaud fighters and grapplers who accumulate multiple consecutive triumphs, and for example, Khabib Nurmagomedov, with his record of 29-0, is hailed as remarkable. With due respect to Khabib, though, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, that kind of victory streak would not have been viewed as so astonishing. Indeed, back then, there were wrestlers who remained undefeated for decades and could defeat several rivals in a single night, rather than just 1 or 2 each year. Among these was Ghulam Muhammad, famously called the Great Gama, who might be regarded as one of the most outstanding grapplers the world has ever seen. Enjoying an unbeaten career that stretched across more than 5 decades, the tale of the Great Gama began in the mud wrestling arenas of India prior to its independence. His renown became so immense that even Bruce Lee took cues from him. Born in Amritsar in 1878, Ghul was competing in adult wrestling contests by the time he turned 10, consistently emerging victorious. At 17, he stepped onto the mat opposite India's reigning champion, Rahim Baksh, and their match ultimately ended in a draw. Following that, the powerhouse embarked on a rigorous training regimen, and in 1910, he was crowned India's heavyweight Kushti champion. By then, he had battled in over 100 contests, showing the world that he was unmatched in his homeland. After adopting the moniker, the Great Gama, he ventured forth to make his mark on Europe. During the dawn of the 20th century, Europe was witnessing a golden era of wrestling. Icons like Ivan Podubny, Ivan Zaykin, Stanislav Zbyszko, and other notable names of that generation drew enormous crowds to stadiums and circuses alike. Initially, Gama's presence in Europe caused little excitement. In England, promoters hesitated to let him participate in top-level events, mainly due to his height of 170 centimeters. Nonetheless, he employed a clever tactic, openly challenging grapplers worldwide and demonstrating that he could overpower them all. Stanislav Zbyszko, who held a world title, rose to face this bold provocation. From the match's opening moments, it became evident that the Great Gama was far superior. Within roughly a minute, he threw the champion down, and for a while kept him pinned, leaving no trace of uncertainty about who deserved the triumph. Thus, the Indian grappler garnered acclaim and embarked on an extensive tour, during which he once again remained unstoppable, toppling other global champions like Frank Gotch and Benjamin Roller. In numerous instances, his matches ran only a few minutes, and on occasion, they concluded in under 1. Following this triumphant streak, Gama traveled back to India, where he once more overcame his long-standing nemesis, Rahim Baksh, solidifying his claim to the nation's championship. Across the generations, stories have circulated about this remarkable Indian powerhouse, crediting him with astonishing might. Some accounts maintain that he performed 4,000 squats and 3,000 push-ups each day. He also ran extensively and engaged in training sessions that, altogether, could span 3 hours. Meanwhile, his daily regimen was said to include 10 liters of milk, 6 chickens, and about 1.5 pounds of almond paste. Further rumors ascribe even more formidable prowess to Gama. One tale claims he hoisted a stone of 1,200 kilograms. That is almost certainly an exaggeration, especially given that the recognized deadlift world record is 501 kilograms, achieved by the towering Icelander, Hafthor Bjornsson, who stands 206 centimeters tall and weighs around 200 pounds. Even so, none of this erases the fact that Gama possessed astounding physical aptitude. The Great Gama continued to wrestle until he was 60, never tasting defeat, and wrapped up his career in the early 1940s. Perhaps his unbroken record is partly due to never facing Podubny or Ali Klitsch, though, unfortunately, no information exists regarding such potential matches. During his final years, the mighty champion led a quiet existence, removed from the limelight. He passed away in Lahore in 1960, following a prolonged illness that included asthma and heart complications. Beyond India, Gama's name was scarcely recalled until the 1970s. Today, he is hailed as the most powerful Indian wrestler of all time and one of the most remarkable sensations in the sport's annals. In today's video, I want to go a little bit deeper into the past, namely in the first half of the 20th century, to tell you the story of the Dagestan giant nicknamed Man Mountain, Osman Abdurakhmanov, an amazing athlete, height of 207 centimeters and weighing 150 kilograms, who was a strongman, a wrestler, played in a circus, starred in several old movies, fought with the legendary Ivan Podubny, and once even defeated the Python in a fight. Osman Abdurakhmanov was born in 1912 in the village of Kikuni in Dagestan. It is interesting that his physique, the strongman, was not like his father at 165 centimeters, but like a very tall and strong mother, who according to some reports was 220 centimeters tall. The young man's parents were traders in the market, and many people especially came to see the unusual pair. From an early age, Osman toiled on the land, hired as a loader and fisherman. When he was 19, he noticed that two men couldn't push a sunken car out of the mud. And in the future, at all the jobs, Osman now and then was asked to do only those jobs that were beyond the power of ordinary people. For example, at the cannery, he hand-mixed mashed fruit in large cauldrons and carried many ponderous bags of vegetables on his shoulders. As a fisherman, he pulled a seine by himself, replacing 5 men, and all that sort of thing. Amazed by his strength, the district leaders invited Abdurakhmanov to the Spartakiad. There, the Man Mountain was first in 3 strength disciplines, and later he became the Caucasus champion in stone throwing. In Moscow, Abdurakhmanov toiled at the serp and mullet plant while simultaneously improving his wrestling skills. In 1936, he took the Moscow championship and a total of 15 won competitions to his credit. Abdurakhmanov fought even with the great Podubny, but the result of that meeting is not known for certain. Many believe that the Man Mountain has never suffered a defeat, hence he had at least a draw with Ivan Podubny. At the time of the wrestlers' meeting, Abdurakhmanov was much younger, and therefore could have gained the upper hand. However, many athletes, such as Ali Klitsch Hasayev, are credited with individual victories over Ivan Podubny, but documents from championships 100 years ago, alas, have not survived. In 1938, the strong man began to perform in the circus, traveled all over the Soviet Union, and visited other countries. In Minsk, he defeated a bison, and in Spain, he took turns defeating 2 bulls. However, the memory of the Man Mountain was immortalized by defeating a python in Ukraine. In this fight, the animal hid his head under the athlete's arm, and if the audience had not shouted about it to Osman in Avar, everything could have ended in defeat. In the last seconds, Abdurakhmanov got the head of the python and performed the final hold, which everyone was waiting for. This fight was not easy for the athlete, but it became a prototype of a monument for posterity. Well, at the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th centuries, truly phenomenal strongmen were born. Besides Abdurakhmanov and Podubny, there were Alexander Zas, Garagakin Schmidt, Ali Klitsch, Kazhimukhan, Bola Konakov, and others. Why do you think there are almost no such people nowadays? There is perhaps no athlete in Iran's history who has achieved the same level of admiration as Gholamreza Takhti. A multiple-time world champion in freestyle wrestling and an Olympic gold medalist, Takhti embodied the true spirit of sportsmanship. Yet his legendary status is owed not only to his athletic success, but also to his extraordinary character. To this day, he is remembered by Iranians as a national hero who perfectly represented the moral ideals of sport. Takhti was born in the year 1930 in a religious Muslim household in the impoverished Hani Abad district on the southern edge of Tehran. Due to the family's financial struggles, he had to leave school after the 9th grade and moved away from Tehran to work in oil fields. He returned to the capital in 1948 and was soon drafted into the military, where he discovered a passion for freestyle wrestling. By 1950, he had begun training regularly at a local wrestling club, where his natural ability quickly caught the eye of the club president. That same year, Takhti joined Iran's national wrestling team, and by the 1951 World Championship in Helsinki, he captured a silver medal. This victory marked the beginning of an exceptional career and made him the first Iranian wrestler ever to win a medal in international competition. In the years that followed, Takhti once again earned silver at the World Championship. However, at the 1956 Olympic Games in Melbourne, he surpassed his previous achievements by winning a gold medal, becoming the first Iranian athlete to claim Olympic gold for the country. Takhti went on to win additional gold medals at the World Championships in 1959 and 1961, as well as a silver at the 1960 Olympics. He also secured 2 more silvers at the World Championships in 1958 and 1962. At the 1962 World Championships held in Toledo, Ohio, Takhti claimed another silver. His final opponent was Soviet wrestler Alexander Medved, and although Takhti lost, it was only due to weighing 200 grams more than his rival. Medved, who would later be hailed as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, often praised Takhti and cherished their matches. Notably, during their final bout, Takhti was aware of Medved's leg injury, but refused to exploit it. Their mutual respect grew into a close friendship. Takhti's final Olympic appearance was at the 1964 Games in Tokyo, where he finished in 4th place. Despite this, his popularity remained undiminished. His enduring fame was rooted not only in his achievements on the mat, but also in his generous and noble actions. Known for presenting gifts to his defeated opponents and offering heartfelt apologies to them and their families, Takhti was deeply admired for his humility and empathy. He also earned immense respect among the Iranian public for his compassion toward the poor. A vocal critic of the Shah's oppressive regime, he turned down many lucrative offers from the government on moral grounds. After a devastating earthquake struck the city of Qazvin in 1962, Takhti doubted that the authorities would deliver adequate aid. Taking matters into his own hands, he organized and led a convoy of relief supplies to assist the victims directly. When asked by a journalist which of his many medals meant the most to him, Takhti replied, "The greatest and most precious prize I have ever received is not a gold or silver medal. A human heart is worth thousands of medals, and I know that many of my fellow countrymen have given me a small place in theirs." Takhti passed away in 1968 under suspicious circumstances. While the official narrative declared it a suicide, many Iranians are convinced that he was assassinated by the Shah's secret police due to his political stance.